Good day, good people. Good day, good day. What's happening? So, Janky promoters, Janky promotion, and contradictions. Widespread in crypto. Widespread. Um, I mean, it's really crazy. It's a reality. It happens in crypto. I mean, it just happens, and you people have to think of ways to protect themselves and combat the urge to lose, the urge and the temptation and the greed, and just really create a plan for yourselves, myself included, so that you don't fall victim into these projects involving crypto that are just designed to just grab your monies and run, and you're left with a nasty taste in your mouth. I mean, this is what is happening. Sure, there's a great side of crypto that's taking place, constant growth, constant advancement. The technology is incredible, so there's going to be innumerable amount of innovation taking place. That's clear. But the flip side to that, just like with everything, all things are dual in nature. So the flip side is the greed factor. The flip side is, these tactics and promotions that take place that wow and bedazzle people and trick people into jumping in, promising an untold amount of gains, all this money, right? Everything that glitters isn't gold, people. We have to really understand that. And I put myself in the mix because I've taken a great deal of losses in life, not just in crypto, but I try to stand on my own square so I can learn from those same mistakes. I'm not perfect because I'm going to continue to make mistakes. What I'm saying is this: in cryptocurrency right now, there's a small, because this is still a niche market, so it's 10 years old, approaching 11 years, and there's a lot of things that are taking place. There's a learning curve that has to happen. There's a bunch of different changes that are constantly taking place every day by the second. I mean, cryptocurrency is growing fast, but there's also opportunity for people to do shady, grimy, sketchy things and grab and steal your monies. And there's no recourse. I don't care what anyone says. At this point right now in cryptocurrency, there's no recourse to reclaim your funds, regardless if you think you can get the attention of the SEC, FBI, whatever law enforcement agency to back you up to retrieve your funds. That in other words, in a deregulated space like cryptocurrency, there's no help. Right now, there is no help for you to reclaim your funds. Should anyone go and steal your funds, which they are going to continue to do, this is what's happening. Use your brain, people. Use your brain. Okay? This is a fact and a reality in and of itself. So many YouTubers have come and gone. There's so many YouTubers who use YouTube to spread the message, but also there are YouTubers who make the mistake of jumping into platforms, and not only do they lose, but the people who follow them lose as well. They lose as well, because it doesn't matter what disclaimer you put on YouTube. Don't put money that you're willing to lose, or I'm not a financial advisor. Or whatever it is. That this is just a game. This is just comedy, entertainment purposes only. Whatever, you make your decision. You can say that to your blue in the face. Folks are going to listen to you if you have a voice and you have some type of credibility. This is just human nature. People are complicated. They're going to follow your steps and lose with you, and you're going to be to blame. So if you're a content creator and you have amassed a decent following, the best you can do is be upfront completely. That's the best you can do, is be upfront and completely upfront. You can write whatever you want to write. You can say whatever you want to say, but put everything on the table. Put the pros and cons of these situations on the table, so that way people can make a calculated decision for themselves if they choose not to do their own research. It's as simple as that. If Because some people just not going to do their research, no matter how many times you tell them, listen, do your own research, investigate, make your own decisions, blah blah blah. They follow what other people say. That's what's that's what's caused a lot of content creators or promoters to amass the followings that they have amassed, and especially when they document their efforts and they document their results, where they show the world through their videos what's taking place in certain platforms, what's taking place in their dashboard, what's taking place with some of these cryptocurrency projects. They're showing you, and then the people who support them, their referrals or whatever you want to call them, are doing the same thing because they want to win too. The problem is when you jumping into these platforms and you don't know shit about these platforms, you don't know anything about who these people are, they do not have a track record. It's a chance that you're taking. It's a gamble. It's just is no different than going into a casino and playing the slot machines. It's a gamble. And then when you lose, people again, they look for someone to blame. They cannot take the responsibility for their own actions, so they're going to look for someone to blame. And some of these people who promote these projects simply have their own agenda. They have their own agenda. They will say the greatest things for you to believe them so that you can join them in their journey, but it's their own needs that are being met. And especially if they've documented their journey the whole time, you can see, the patterns don't change. The videos and everything that they've documented is recorded, and you can see what is the track record. What is the track record? How many projects have they been successful in? How many projects have they failed in? And use that to make your decision to moving forward. Use that to make your decision. And again, if you find one thing that works, why downplay it? Think about this, people. If you find there's a solid project that's out there, that's actually delivering on what it's designed to do, it's not cheating anyone. It's not promising, making it untold promises. It's just as clear as what it's supposed to do, and it's functioning and operating as such. Make your decision, and then you move forward, and then that's it. But it's one thing. Let it be one instead of none, because we don't know where this is going to be. We don't know where this space is going to land in 5, 10, 15 years. People are hoping for the best, sure, because the technology is so advanced, and the technology, no one expected this to really come to fruition 10, 15 years ago. I would say 15 years ago. We didn't see, digital assets and virtual monies existing to this scale at this level. So you're going to have errors. Don't contribute to your loss by continually throwing your energy into projects that promise you nothing, not promise you nothing. They promise you all this untold type of money, and then they crap on you, and then they just rip the cord. They exit scam. Some people in this space have just, they've been very successful. And how do you know they're successful? Because they broadcast their information on YouTube or any type of social media, whatever it is, Telegram, Discord, whatever medium they use. They use these things to show you as sort of proof of what you can do as well. This the marketing. It's another engine. It's another type of style of marketing, right? So they pull you in, right? They pull you in, and then when everything changes, however it changes, when the project scams, supposedly the promoter and everyone else who does the content creation are scammed too, but so are the followers. The followers who do not have the influence that these promoters have. The followers who may not even have been successful, who do not even have the knowledge that the promoters have within the crypto space. How is the space going to expand or adoption going to be a mass when new people who want to try something different find this space and they're looking at your videos, they're unsuspecting, they're naive, they're gullible, and they jump into doing something you're doing because you seemingly look like someone who's upstanding. You seem like you know what you're doing and you have your stuff together, and then all of a sudden things change. Who are they going to blame? You, especially if you have a track record of doing sketchy things like that. It's all out there. You build a reputation. When you build a reputation and some form of I guess recognition in YouTube, as small as it is, people say the world is, it's a small world, but it's also big too. But because this space is so small and people know someone else who knows you, you build a reputation over a period of time, and it sticks and it follows you. It follows you like a dark cloud. Look at the promoters who promoted BitConnect. Look at the promoters who promoted BitConnect. Their reputation is following them. It doesn't matter. They will be synonymously attached to BitConnect, regardless of whatever happens in the future. Whether BitConnect comes back, does what it doesn't matter. They will always be remembered for being attached to that type of platform. And they're trying to do whatever they try to do. You'll remember them for that, though. You won't remember them for anything good that they've done. You'll remember them for being attached to this platform that scammed out all its users. And there are other promoters who behave the same way. I'm not attacking those single, the individuals who only the promoters who, spoke about BitConnect and marketed BitConnect. I'm talking about people who market these platforms in general. Because the reason why I talk about Gandhiji is not to shill per se, is not to, I'm not getting paid for that. I'm doing this for the love. I'm doing this for information, to share the word, to spread the word, to show people like this thing has been here for 18 months. This thing has been here and it just does exactly what it's meant to do, what it's designed to do, period. And it's been working. And and I'll just identify projects like that. P3D is the same thing too. If people want to look at smart contracts in the Ethereum decentralized application space, the two contracts right now that you can speak about without fail, they have their own style in doing what they do, but they are also similar in many ways. P3D and Gandhiji. That's it. Anything else is suspect. And the reason why I say that is because P3D and Gandhiji have been around for the same amount of time. P3D may be a month or a month and a half older than Gandhiji. Both contracts approaching 2 years in existence. Both contracts have delivered what they promised, and it's not just about words, it's what's written in the code. Both contracts are still standing today. These other contracts that are coming and going, you don't know what's going on. You just want to grab on to an opportunity because you think it's too late for these other contracts. The ship has sailed and all this other stuff. You put yourself at risk. It's the same with other types of cryptocurrency blockchain projects. It's the same thing, folks. Wake up. There's this thing with these janky promoters. You could tell just from their track record that they have none of your best interests at heart except their own. None other than their own, And that's why I'm not putting out any names, and this is not, to name call and do all that stuff. I'm just trying to keep everything real, 100,000% real. Seriously. Don't cry when you follow someone who you really not sure of whatever, but you like them for whatever reason. You jump into a platform, then the platform scams out, and then you're like, oh, but what happened? You try to blame the promoter. No, it's not the promoter's fault. Even though they have responsibility because they introduced a platform that turned out to be shady. But if they're introducing 10 platforms and 10 of them are shady, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Do you continue to expend your energy in these things? There's so much other things in life that are taking place that you can focus on that can bring you better rewards than following nefarious people who do nefarious things and waste your time and waste your energy and waste your money and take food out of your mouths, because that's really the fundamental crux of all of this. What's this all about? For many, it's about the technology, and for many, it's about earning a living. For many, it's about creating some type of passive income, residual income, so they don't have to really depend on one source. They could depend on something else and not bust their ass all the time like robots, like machine, like sheeple. So what are we doing? What is it that you're going to do? Are you going to continue to fall into the trap of following these people to the road of destruction? Or are you going to just make your own decisions and be happy based on your own efforts, the energy you applied to get the right information that you need to make the best well-calculated decision to minimize risk? I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, because people don't hear, and I'm going to keep saying it till those who hear me, because this is what works. That's what works. When you're able to make your own calculated decision based on information that you've gathered, based on information that you've received, based on the hard work you put in. Because nothing's going to come easy. Nothing. Nothing. And I'll tell you what, and I'm going to say this too. For those who are in crypto, who, have the talent and the attribute, the gift, I would say, to create content, which is incredibly hard, to get in front of a camera and speak and give a message. For those who have that responsibility, think about what it is that you're doing. Think about the message that you want to share to the world. Think about it. What good are you adding to the space to benefit the whole? What is it that you're doing? This is not a joke. Because when people lose, when people fail, when people especially lose their money, their hard-earned, that is painful. It's hurtful, because that's taking away from something else that they could have applied that same amount of money to gain something, whatever it is. Pay a bill, pay rent, or enjoy something. No, they lost it because they paid attention to someone who used their platform, used their voice irresponsibly to rip themselves, to take money from others. Whether you want to say it or not, whether you want to say that was your intention or not. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, that wasn't my intention, because the road to hell was paved with good intentions. If you have a platform and you've really grinded, right? You've grinded, you've toiled, you put in so much work to build your rented channel, because anything, your channels are not yours. YouTube could take that away, snatch that from you at any point. You don't own these channels. Let's understand that. Let's be clear with that. If you use your efforts, your energy to apply and work your channel up to such a level where, you have a nice, large fan base of subscribers who listen to you, who support you, and you climb that mountain, but you thought you were the top dog on your way up there. You didn't care who you stepped on. You didn't care who you hurt. You didn't care anything. It was just about you climbing to the top in your head. Well, don't be surprised if you come crashing down, and the same people that you saw going on your way up are the same people you're going to see when you crash all the way back down to earth. Let go of that feeling of being grandiose, delusions of grandeur, narcissism, thinking everything is about you, that, it's all about whatever you say and people are going to follow you regardless. No, you need a community to exist. Without the community, who knows you? If it weren't for two people, you wouldn't be alive. So you can't do everything by yourself. So be responsible with what you say and your content, what you deliver. And I'm talking about to the people who choose to create janky promotions, man. Sketchy promotions. This is what I firmly believe. You need marketing and everything, but this is what's hurting the crypto space at large. I tell you, man, for real. This is what's hurting it. That promotion, especially when it was introduced, where there's these contests. If you can amass this, if you could get to this level in this pyramid scheme, you'll be able to do this and that. You'll be a regional promoter, a national promoter. All that nonsense. It got to the people. It got to their heads, man. And then the whole greed factor and temptation of amassing X amount of crypto a day, which you could exchange to fiat, which translates to making hundreds and thousands of dollars a day. It got to the heads of the people, man. It got to them, man. They got caught with the greed factor, and that's what's killing people, man. Being impatient, like I said, like the old wise financiers of the world, the investors of the world, the sages who know how these things work, especially dealing with money, man. The transference of wealth happens from the impatient to the patient. If someone is telling you they're greedy and they're patient, believe them, yo. If someone is telling you straight up that, listen, they're greedy and they're addicted and they fall to temptation, you believe them. Don't think that this story and narrative is going to change. I could go on and on and on, man, but I'm not going to waste any of your time, any further. All I'm saying is this. Instead of listening and following these people, man, if they're talking about something that may interest you, don't just pull the trigger and say, yeah, I'm just going to jump in because someone is talking about it. Find out what it is that they're talking about. Do the research. Especially if these projects have no track record. And they're in a space where they have no track record. Meanwhile, you have other projects that are working, that have been grinding, that have been performing for X amount of time, and they're delivering on whatever it is that they're designed to deliver. What are you going to do? Come on, man. Seriously, man. Once you know better, you have to do better. I'm out.